Alright, I want to make a video about my Dodge Charger. It's a 2008 RT with a 5.7 Hemi, and it has over 300 and almost 316,000 miles on it. So right now, I'll show you the odometer in a second, but I've got this thing in 2009, and yes, it has that many miles on it, but it does not. The caveat is it's not the original engine. This thing has a little bit more. I'm trying to make this video as short as possible, but it definitely does not. This engine was rebuilt twice by Dodge, and it's still in pretty decent shape, but it's getting old. So I have already replaced this car, and I'm about to sell it. So now I'm gonna just do the whole story behind this car. It has served me well, even though it has come with a ton of headaches. But let me go over it with you. Yes, I had a lifetime warranty on this Charger. It was offered to me during the financing part of it, and yes, lifetime, as long as I owned it. I recently, Dodge gave me, as you can see there's a mileage. So I'm just 100 miles shy of 316,000 miles. And like I said before, I have a whole laundry list of things, of repairs that Dodge has spent on this car. But let's go over it real quick. So it's a V8 Hemi power, and putting out 340 horsepower and I believe 390 torque. But it was a good car when I got it. I got it, like I said, in 2009, and it has served me really well over the years. I'm not one to go through cars, so I kept it until now. And you can see, got all leather seats, navigation, and the interior is not that fancy, and you can see how the wear and tear on it through the years. I've been to it. Yeah, my leather seats are a little cracked right here, but overall it's pretty decent shape inside. And yes, I got this car before I had a family, and it served me, you know, even after having 2 kids. So it's as you can see, it's very room inside, ton of space inside. Even for the back seat, the only drawback was, I don't know how many times I hit my head putting my kids in the car seats with the sloping roof. Trunk is nice and spacious. With the spoiler on, with the extra weight, I ended up breaking the cord that releases it. So now I can only open the trunk with my keys. I sprayed the wheels black myself. I got to do it every now and then. But overall, the car is comfortable to drive. It's pretty quick. Definitely not the fastest thing out there. And if you watch my other videos, I have already got my other car, which is the Kia Stinger, which is a lot different. You can watch those videos. Okay, let me go through this as quick as I can. So in January of 2021, Dodge sent me an email saying, if you want to cancel your lifetime warranty, you get a refund. I paid $2,500 for it, and so they're going to offer me $2,500 back for it, just to cancel the warranty. And at this point, I'm like, yes, I'm kind of done with this car. It's just beat to hell with that many miles on it. And I've driven this thing everywhere. I commuted for a long time, for many years, doing over 50 miles one way. So that racked up the miles, and I just drove this thing everywhere. I like to drive. So all right, so I'll show you the check. The check literally just came in last week, and you know, here's a check for $2,500. That's exactly what I paid for it when I got it. So yes, I will say I got a hell of a deal, and then some. I believe they paid, when you do warranty work, here's the original paperwork on the warranty. It's a lifetime warranty. As you can see, it pretty much covers everything. And I will say Dodge was true to their word on this warranty. It did take many months to get the check out to me for the refund, which was kind of annoying, but you know, it is what it is. I did get the check, so I'm gonna not complain too much about that. All right, so I'm gonna go over as quickly as I can, and hopefully with I try to do it in chronological. I had to write everything down, otherwise I wouldn't remember everything that happened in his car, and I'm probably missing some things out. So so I had no major issues until I hit 105,000 miles. At that point, the transmission went out. Then so Dodge fixed that, and then it was a fuel pump issue, and then a water pump issue. Radiator got replaced, and after the radiator was replaced, literally not that long afterwards, the radiator fan broke and took out the radiator, so I got another radiator and a fan. And at 180,000 miles while getting on the freeway, I blew a piston. Luckily I was able to get over. And so mind you, every time this thing has had these issues, they either put me in a rental up to a point where they decided not, the warranty only gave me a rental for 100,000 miles. So after that, I was on my own, and depending on who my service person was, that's another issue I'll talk in a little minute. I didn't get a rental, so that kind of sucked, because you know, this was my only car at the time, and not having a car, and these didn't take a day or two to fix. These were all long, lengthy repairs. So after the engine blew up, and so the first time it blew up with 180,000 miles, they replaced the short block and rebuilt the engine. So after that, I had another transmission problem, and then had the front shocks replaced, and then the suspension started to go bad. Had tie rods replaced, and they only like replaced the outer tie rod. They wouldn't do the inner, or vice versa, one of those, something weird. And then I had the front shocks replaced, and then at 250,000 miles, a camshaft broke, so that required a long block engine rebuild. So they rebuilt that, and like I said, they don't tell you when you go on your invoice, they don't tell you how much it all costs. It just says covered in warranty, and they zero it out. So on another note, if you watch Scotty Kilmer, he did that thing on Dodge Chargers, and he is basically, let me get back in the car, it's windy out here. He basically is spot on. Whatever he said about the Charger is, he got it right. Everything he said with my experience. So then I'll show you the engine and what it looks like now in a second. Let me finish up here. Then I had another transmission rebuild, and then a bunch of modules and solenoids. And that's the latest issues now with it being so old. It's all these electrical problems that are starting to come up. I've had several oil pans that needed replacement over the years, and then a full wiring harness that needed replaced on this. And so now every time the car has a check engine light, it takes a long time to figure out, but right now it's running decently well. I'm not right as of today filming. This Charger is doing really good. It runs fine. It's just getting old, and it's time for me to move on and get something more reliable, because I just can't afford the time of being stuck waiting for it to be repaired. So there's the engine, pretty dirty given all those miles, and I wish I knew how to take care of the exterior a little bit better. I did get it washed pretty often, but now I know how to do wash cars the right way, watching other YouTube videos. Now I do that stuff myself. So, long story short, a bit too late for that. You know, do I recommend it? Yeah, it's a good car, as long as you don't put too many miles on it. And you know, if you're wanting to drive a car and get a new one every few years, you know, it might be fun to have. But I like to keep my cars as long as possible, so that's why I went the direction I went with. And to talk about service, even though dealerships, yes, they're getting paid by the warranty to take care of it, but in my experience, most of the service to dealerships were kind of terrible. I had one really awesome person. She was my service manager for a while, and she always hooked me up with a rental no matter what, regardless of the mileage and all that stuff. So she always gave me rentals, sometimes for a week, 2 weeks. And you know, Dodge at this dealership had a fleet of rental cars, so it really didn't cost them anything other than let me borrow it. But after she quit, I got terrible service, and no one seemed to care how long it took. You know, communication was terrible. But I guess that's the norm with a lot of service at the dealerships, and that's too bad. Yeah, I got my money's worth and then some, so I'm happy with that. You know, I'm happy that Dodge held up their end of the bargain. But and I would have liked to kept this car forever, but it's just, at this point in time, it's just too much of a headache to keep and constantly maintain, or take it to the dealership, or get towed. That lifetime warranty is probably the best thing I ever bought in my life, probably, for $2,500 and what I got out of it. And I got the money back. And the next thing would be AAA, because I needed this thing towed a lot, and this thing required a flatbed. And yeah, a lot of times I would be in the dealership, pick up this car, and literally a day later, the car will break down on me on the freeway, which is a huge inconvenience. And to me, it was like a normal occurrence, and it shouldn't be a normal occurrence for you to go to the dealership or have your car there, or get towed so many times. It just sucks. And hopefully I don't have that to deal with that anymore with the cars that I have now. But this car, my story on this Charger definitely deserves a mention. And yeah, so I personally will probably never buy another Chrysler, you know, Fiat now. I'll probably never buy another Chrysler product, unless it was like a Hellcat or something, if I ever got rich. But other than that, this was my experience, and you know, it did serve me well over the years. And I had, you know, it was a family car, and it had a lot of room, and it's still a nice car to this day. But like I said, it's time to move on and say goodbye to this thing. Well, thank you for watching, and like and subscribe if you want to watch my videos, and it'll help me out a lot. And I'm trying to rebuild this channel just to do more car reviews and DIY stuff, stuff that's useful and educational, and just help you out in your daily life. But just to know, with these vehicles, and I've seen some interiors of the new Dodges, even the Hellcats, they haven't changed much. And if you want it nice inside and all that stuff, there's a ton of better options out there, and hopefully I can show those to you, and get with other dealerships and different companies, and do some walk around and test drives for you. All right, thanks for watching.